Welcome to CreateGrowProfit Coaching Stories. I'm Morris from CreateGrowProfit.com, and today I'm speaking to Coleen Parsons. Coleen is a mindset coach, and she helps people consciously and subconsciously re-perceive themselves. Coleen, thank you for being here today. Where are you calling in from?
I'm in Metro Detroit, Michigan, USA.
And you also have such a nice sunny day as we do here in Switzerland today, right?
Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous out. Yes, indeed.
Before we hit record, you said something that I really found like a unique perspective on weather because myself included, living in a rainy country like Switzerland, we often complain about the bad weather. But you said something else, right?
Oh, yes. I really appreciate the contrast that having all the seasons at our fingertips brings. Just knowing that, these beautiful days, everyone's experiencing this beautiful day. And if they're from here, then they're realizing in 6 months, we're really going to be grateful for this beautiful day because chances are we'll be trudging through snow or at least have multiple layers on. So I really appreciate the contrast.
Yeah, the contrast that makes us appreciate the sunny days more. We all want to go outside on the sunny days because we know they're rare. Colleen, how does this connect to what you do in mindset coaching at all? This attitude with in contrast?
Oh, definitely. That's a great insight. Yes, for me, it's really been a lot about reframing things that happen in our lives. And that's one of the things I help people do to be able to realize lessons that may have been very painful at the time, but without those lessons, there wouldn't have been that growth that they're able to experience. Yeah. And just like the seasons, there's growth in the spring and summer. There's got to be contrast. There's seasons,
Seasons in weather and seasons in life.
definitely. Yeah.
So, how did you become a coach?
Well, a dozen years or so ago, I was tending bar at a local dive bar, and I realized that that wasn't a sustainable lifestyle for me. So I decided to work on myself and rediscover what health meant to me. And so I went onto a path of health and wellness coaching.
So, you first have worked on your own health and wellness, and that led you to becoming a coach, or how was your transition from tending bar to wellness, health and wellness coaching?
I decided to use the health and wellness coaching program to help rediscover my own health. It seems like when I'm doing things for others, then I'm able to allow myself to do something for myself as well.
I really resonate with that. And there is a saying, right, that when we teach something to others, that's when we truly learn it or even master it.
That resonates with me.
And how did you then go from health and wellness coaching to the type of coaching that you do today?
Oh gosh, hindsight being 2020, it's easy to see now that I was suffering from my own imposter syndrome. After my first 6 months uh, to get my health coaching certification, I just felt like, well, I'm not ready to start yet because I don't look a certain way. I still do certain things. So I was really, almost setting myself up for failure or at least inaction, which, I was chasing fulfillment through achievement, more certifications, just trying to fill this inner feeling of not being enough with more knowledge, which is, easy for me to acquire. Um, but quite another thing for me to implement in my own life. And it took a while for me to realize that my mindset had to change first before anything in the outside world shifted at all.
That is a really, really like high level of self-awareness, Colleen. I think to be able to see that in yourself, because that is probably the biggest trap that I see too when working with others in online marketing or building an online business. It's this thought pattern of I need more knowledge, I need more certifications, I need to prove myself that way. And you're right, there's all these programs out there, all these books, all these courses to fulfill that need, but it leads to, as you called it, inaction. And so what, like looking back, what would you recommend your old self in that time period?
Well, I'm the type of person that I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be right now. So again, looking back, I'm looking at everything that I went through. I guess hang in there would be the only thing I would tell my, or maybe just relax. It's all okay, because I think we need to discover this for ourselves. In coaching, we talk a lot about we can't want things more for our clients than they want it for themselves. And we all have to star in our own movies, and we get to decide what that movie looks like. And I think you were talking about earlier, it's that awareness, and then yes, to actually take deliberate action after that. So but yeah, I don't know what I would that's a really good question. I don't know what I would say to my younger self.
I like that you said hang in there and relax. It, to me, that sounds like embracing the process instead of wanting to rush through it for a result.
I never thought about it like that, but wow, yeah. Timing.
Yes, yes. The mindset coaching that you do today is not a generic mindset coaching. I know when we talked earlier, you have, yeah, I don't want to speak for you. Please share with us the mindset coaching that you do and what it is based on.
Well, it's a modality called Psych-K. I use this modality with my one-on-one clients. And that is where we look at where they are right now and where they'd like to go. And then it's really working to implement those changes by making shifts in our brains, in our minds. Uh, Dr. Bruce Lipton has a lot of research. He is one of my heroes. I just love the way he's able to explain how these physical bodies of ours work in contrast to this consciousness we have, and how both interact. And so I'm so grateful to be able to facilitate this practice that really helps people get to some of the cores, getting to their limiting beliefs or patterns that aren't serving them anymore, and to really, you know, take a step out beyond.
So if I understand you correctly, the Psych-K modality, it helps people become aware of their own patterns, and then they can choose which of these patterns they want to keep and which ones they want to change so it serves themselves better.
Yes, it uses, it's. I would ask you in a session, how are things right now, and you could tell me how things are, and then I would ask you, what would you like them to be, and you could tell me that too. And then we would come up with some goal statements, would sound a lot like affirmations, on what would support what you want instead. So if you aren't interested in changing something about yourself, you don't have to. I mean, that's the beauty of this being your movie and you getting to choose. And as a facilitator, I'm simply here to take you through the modality, hold space for you without judgment, because this is your movie. And it's an honor for me to be able to hold space for people as they're really getting clear on what they want in this life.
That sounds like very beautiful and also respectful coaching, where you don't want to force or even well-meaningly, right, tell your clients what they should do, or you don't even assume that you would know what's best for them.
I don't. Yes, I firmly believe we all know ourselves the best, no matter what doctors or, people in authority might feel.
Yeah, experts.
Experts, right?
The types of clients that come to you today, do you see a theme around why they ask you for coaching?
Great question. A lot of it is worthiness, being able to feel worthy of whatever success they're having.
When they come to you, do they already know that they're not feeling worthy, or do they describe it in different words?
It is often described in different words, and sometimes clients can't even put it into words, but they know what they're feeling and they know what they'd rather feel instead.
And I mean, I understand if you can't share this. What are they usually feeling that prompts them to seek out help from you?
Stuck, anxious.
Okay, feeling stuck, experiencing anxiety around the stuckness, or maybe even guilt.
Yes.
Okay, guilty that they're not doing enough. Is that another one?
That, I mean, the feelings really run the gamut of the, scope of consciousness or map of consciousness. There's sometimes I've had different clients that have been grieving, not being able to let go of that feeling of sadness, anger,
Yeah, these are deep running feelings.
usually picked up in our first 7 years of life.
Can you share maybe an example anonymously of how, somebody came to you with, let's say, deep sadness that they can't let go, and how their life changed or how they transformed by taking them through this Psych-K modality?
I did have one client who was stuck because they were grieving from the loss of their parent. It was a sudden happening. There wasn't, it wasn't a long illness where, the stages of change can be honored ahead of time. And so he was stuck in this vibration of grief. And he really hesitated even seeking help for it because of some feelings of guilt and shame and concern over not wanting to forget anything. And I think that's a really important distinction to make when people are seeking out services, modalities like Psych-K or tapping or EMDR, that we don't forget. We're just able to take the wind out of the sails and have a different perspective. We're able to shift to see those gifts that, so that's in essence what I was able to do with this person, is let them be able to shift from their feeling of grief, anger, shame, guilt to acceptance and peace, and just being able to understand that the event is the event, but we always have a choice as to how we perceive that. And then through that specific interaction, we were able to branch out. Really powerful tool.
Thank you for sharing this example, Colleen. I always find it so powerful to hear about transformations from other people and that you're willing to share an example like that. Thank you.
I think I kept their anonymity, so thank you for letting me share that.
Yes, yes. Right, like as coaches, that's what we have to do in a sense. We We have to achieve transformations in people or facilitate transformations, support them in their transformations. And transformations can go really, really deep and they can be scary.
Absolutely. I think I think you may have touched on why so many people, well, not so many people, but people can become afraid or, fear what it is they're losing. And it has everything to do with our biology, and our brains wanting it to keep us safe because there is an unknown. And our amygdalas want to keep us safe, want to stick with what we know. And creating new tracks in the snow is can be a scary and daunting thought. One of the things I love about Psych-K is the gentleness of the modality and not dwelling on the trauma, but simply being able to shift our subconscious minds to moving in another direction towards peace, towards acceptance, and picking up, deciding. And then one of the things I love, well, my two favorite things about Psych-K is that we always celebrate at the end of every balance, and then that we figure out action steps. And it's not me giving out action steps, it's my partner deciding what is going to be best for them moving forward. And it's such an empowering modality.
Yeah, I can sense that from you as you describe it, as you share examples, it sounds very gentle and non intrusive.
Yeah. And so I think that can help with the fear. With anything, it takes maintenance. It's not a one and done. I'm not a genie. We aren't healers. We're not magicians. Things don't go away. You aren't forget. We're not erasing your mind. So, and the event is still going to be a part of your life. So it's making a conscious decision to see that event in the way you'd like to see it now.
Yeah, very, very powerful. Developing that skill to change the perspective on a big event like that. Colleen, as you share this, I find it fascinating that people come to you and feel safe to work through such deep issues with you. How do you do your marketing? How do you manage to attract people that they have such a high level of trust to begin working with you?
Lately, I've been attracting people organically. Most of what I do is referral based. Yeah, I'm actually looking into new ways to market what I do to reach more people.
And what's on your mind out of all the options?
Out of so many options. Well, one thing I am doing is creating more content on YouTube, as well as more content on platform called Be Connected.
That's where you and I connected.
Yes, I'm forever grateful for that platform. So I'm excited to be able to hold some workshops and start a group and just let people join, no pressure, because there's a lot of things that you can do yourself without needing to have any session with me. Which, why would I say that? But because authentically, I want to be able to create as much value. Besides being a Psych-K facilitator, I do also facilitate an amazing 6-month transformative program. And I find that the Psych-K modality really can support the work that's done in this 6-month transformative program. So I just want people to know that there are options, that you don't have to stay stuck in grief, that you don't need to stay stuck in anger. There's a better way, there's another way.
Yeah, Colleen, that is such a powerful message to tell someone, hey, there's options, and the options are not just hire me or join my program or buy my package. No, no, you have options, whether it's your free resources, your group, or even other people and resources, right? But just giving people hope and planting that seed, first of all, that they have options. I think that is such a great mission to be on. So your group is on Be Connected. Like people listening to this, if they want to join your group, do they join you on Be Connected?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll put them below the video. I'll put the link to your website and to your Be Connected group. If people want to join the group, they can just create a free Be Connected account, right?
Yes, actually, this week I have a second profile on that platform where I'm going to be focusing on this aspect of my work. I'm also an expert on that platform. So if that's another way I create value for if people want to learn how to use the platform and get the most out of every membership level, to be able to connect with people like Morris and to have conversations like this. But my business is called Unlimit Your Beliefs.
Amazing. Coleen, is there anything else you would like to share with listeners before we wrap it up?
Well, before we started recording, you asked me one word that I would use to describe what I do. And in Psych-K, we call ourselves Izumatak. And that is the holder or keeper of the sacred space where all wisdom is held and revealed. And what that's the role I love most, to be able to hold space for others without judgment.
Yeah, I love that word, although I have troubles pronouncing it and spelling it, but I love that word. Let me try Izumatak.
Perfect.
I cheated. I looked at the website. Thank you so much for being here, Coleen. It was a pleasure hearing your story.
Thank you so much, Morris. I'm so grateful.